be joined today by Claire Hughes. Claire is founder and director of En2End. So Claire, thanks so much for being with us today. Perhaps you could just tell us a bit about you, your background, and how En2End came into being.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Katie, for the time. So I started En2End 3 years ago. The original idea was to help clients really leverage their rights in the sporting arena and to make sure they got as much value as possible from their investment. It's been my passion for a number of years, gained from working at some of the world's biggest and most prominent sponsors and football clubs, including Aon, delivering their Man United shirt sponsorship and training ground programme. And then I was in-house at Liverpool for 4.5 years as well. When I left Liverpool, I took Axe as a training kit partner with me, and we were delivering the traditional VIP matchday experiences, helping them take care of all of their VIP matchday programs from start to finish or from end to end, making sure that the brand was at the heart of everything that we do. And then the pandemic hit. And when the pandemic hit, everything, as we all know, stopped overnight. So what we did was we came up with the idea to put the VIP matchday programs online. So we created a 1 hour, for want of a better word, TV show that was truly immersive, interactive, and basically gave everybody a front row seat when they physically couldn't be there.
And, taking that a step forward, I know that, unlike some companies that, obviously took a big hit during the pandemic and, you were one of those that diversified and have actually evolved and grown, over the last 2 years. I think you've done things like virtual match day and had huge successes with that. So perhaps you can tell us a bit more about that whole new side of the business.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've grown massively in a short space of time, and we're now surrounded by a great team of super talented, fun, creative people, and who've all got very different backgrounds. We're not necessarily all from the world of sport. We've actually got some really great people from the world of brand engagement. And I think that's what really sort of sets us apart. It's not just about activating rights, it's about telling the brand stories. So yeah, as you mentioned, we've successfully pivoted during the pandemic from delivering live VIP matchday experiences to taking that online and curating 1 hour TV shows. We've worked for global brands such as Standard Chartered, FedEx, Vitality, and then also federations such as UEFA.
And I'm not sure if you're allowed to say too much about it, but I know you're sort of working closely with UEFA and delivering a few things for them at the minute. So what kind of elements are you involving in the offering?
What we've been working on for some of our clients is about taking what we've learned during the pandemic. So we delivered not just VIP matchday experiences, we actually realized that we could deliver any normal physical asset and take it online. So for example, we created and it has actually been nominated for an award at the Football Business Awards. We created a virtual mascot experience where we put a massive screen into the Champions League tunnel, and we put the children who would have normally walked out holding the players' hands life-size in the tunnel. And then when the players were walking in, they stopped and were aghast that there's these life-size digital children who are in completely different corners of the world interacting and engaging with them as they were walking into the stadium. So we're taking all of what we've learned during the past 18 months, 2 years, and we're going to be putting it into an innovative, bespoke online solution, creating a digital community, a digital virtual matchday centre, where brands will be able to really sort of bring to life all of their assets online.
Yes, that's great news about the Football Business Award nominations. Perhaps you can tell us a bit more about what those two awards are for and, which projects that they were.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been nominated for the best football activation for our work with MasterCard for the Champions League final. That's where we put a massive screen into the tunnel and curated a 1 hour show for the children and their families, along with the UEFA Foundation and Ashley Cole. And then when we got the nod from UEFA that the teams were arriving, we switched the feeds and we went live to the stadium, and we got some great feedback because it was picked up by BT Sports and amassed over 500,000 impressions on social media, because Thomas Tuchel and all the players were captured gobsmacked when they were walking in and saw these children life-size in the tunnel, and Ashley Cole as well shouting and screaming at them good luck for the final. So that's the one that's been nominated for the best activation in football, and the other one that we've been nominated for is the best use of technology in football, and that was for our activation at the Euros with Alipay, who are a Chinese partner who obviously couldn't physically be there in person last June. So what we did was we took the idea of how we'd interacted for the Champions League final with the mascots, but this time we put a portable, movable screen into the tunnels so that we could move it from stadia to stadia. And we did 3 events for the build-up for the England, Portugal and France games, where similar idea, we ran 2 events in parallel in a room in China, one for children, one for VIPs. And then when we got the nod from UEFA that the teams were arriving, we went live to the stadium and the ambassador. So we had Michael Owen for the England game, and then we had Nuno Gomes for the Portugal game, and we had David Trezeguet for the French game. And when we got the nod that the teams were arriving, we went live to the stadium, switched the feeds, and we had some great interaction with Ronaldo, Mbappe, Gareth Southgate, etc., coming up and waving at the clients, giving them a virtual front row seat.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Well, good luck with those Football Business Awards. When are they coming up?
They're coming up in May 27th. It's a lunchtime event at the brewery in London. We're super excited and really proud to be up there with some other great big names in the industry. So yeah, we're really excited.
Fabulous. Fantastic. And so it sounds like, you know, you've got plenty more things, you know, in the pipeline as well. So, you know, what does the next sort of 12 to 24 months hold for you and End2End?
Well, let's face it, I think no matter where you are on the return to normal barometer, I think that, you know, the way that we work and the way that we interact now has changed forever. I think that moving forward, every single event, every single rights holder should be looking at having a live, a virtual and a hybrid element to their events. And I think that by doing that, you can achieve a complete connected experience, and that basically, you know, whatever the circumstances we find ourselves in, we shouldn't be going back to the way that we used to do it. I think that, you know, we've all learned now that things can be done differently. We've all adapted and adopted technology in a completely different way now. And so I believe that every live event should now have a digital twin.
Very good. And I'm sure, you're right. I think, you know, it was one of those things during the pandemic, we all got so used to doing this whole virtual and, you know, and then we sort of started coming out and it was like, oh no, don't want to go back to that. But, you know, I can imagine, you know, there's no way that you could have VIPs, you know, traveling left, right and center. So I imagine using this so, you know, hybrid means that, you know, the big sponsors can have so many more VIPs and so many more eyes on the event and indeed their brand.
Absolutely. It's not ever going to replace the in-person experience, but what it is going to do is amplify the in-person experience and make sure that you take what it is that you want to deliver and what you want to achieve and reach a wider, far-reaching global audience. It's also going to help in terms of the sustainability by reducing travel, time, cost efficiencies, etc. as well. So like I say, I don't think it's a one solution fits all. I think it's a combination of having a live, virtual and hybrid solution so that everybody can be connected no matter where they are in the world.
Fabulous. Well, that's great, Claire. We look forward to following End2End over the next sort of 12 to 24 months. It sounds like you've got plenty on your plate and in the pipeline. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Katie.